I know it was a dislocation. He was probably in the best spirits of any player that I've ever, it's such a terrible experience when you go out and see guys when they have issues like that. But he immediately had wide eyes and was talking, I'm good, just make sure the guys get this win.
That man coached a win over the Jets. I don't even know how to explain it. Mike McDaniel. Just feels like the lights are on and no one's home during this conversation. Anyway, Tyreek Hill torn multiple, this is from Ian Rappaport. Tyreek Hill has torn multiple ligaments in his dislocated knee. That's including the ACL. It obviously ends the season. And listen to this, guys, giving him a long road ahead for 2026, a source said. He's going to have surgery today to repair this significant injury. So about as bad as it gets for Tyreek Hill. This is beyond a normal season-ending ligament tear.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Again, friend of the podcast, we wish him a speedy recovery. This is brutal. But look, we are a fantasy football show, and we have to address there are fantasy football implications to the injury. So we wish Tyreek a speedy and healthy recovery. That'll be a story in the offseason. Will he be ready for next year?
Right.
And what happens with his career? But as we talked about in the previous segment, I think the fantasy beneficiaries of the vacated target share here are Malik Washington and Darren Waller. Maybe you see some more Nick Westbrook-Akine, but again, the offense has started to look better, Tua's looked better, and you like the matchup this week against Carolina.
Yep, Jalen Waddle as well just inevitably has to see his stock go up a little bit. They're going to throw. Can they throw even more to Devon Achane out of the backfield too?
Yeah.
As we look at the notable fantasy performances out of that game, Justin Fields, Touche, Conor, you're right. They're probably the biggest gap between fantasy value and real life value is.
You look up and you're like,
Justin
Justin Fields got me 30 points again in a game where the Jets didn't look pretty.
No. Garrett Wilson as well, after a very rough first half, just ridiculously gets that touchdown wiped off for the alleged OPI. But
it should have been a bigger night, right?
Yeah.
You should have had the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
They never call that.
Yeah, it's insane. Even in real time, it's just like, what am I looking for here? But Garrett Wilson, I think that, look, it's encouraging that he is able to have those type of games. If you do kind of retrospectively give him the second touchdown that he should have had, then it looks like a much better night. I think that you just have to hold on to him for now, unless
Conor, would you try to trade high? Because looking at that offense was so bad, and
I'll tell
the
you
box
why
score
I
looks better than the NFL game.
I'll tell you why I wouldn't. And this isn't homer or bias or anything. I think the Jets' defense is so bad that they are going to live in these scripts.
Yeah.
Where Garrett Wilson might have a career year across every catches, maybe not catches because of the lack of volume throwing, but yards and touchdowns. The defense is this bad.
Yeah, might be worse than the league.
And even if they just lose all faith in Fields, Tyrod showed you last week he can get the ball to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I think it's at the point where I don't want to sell. I'm not saying that he's this huge buy right now, but I think this is sustainable because of how awful the scripts are that they play in.
We talked in the previous segment about Isaiah Davis with the Braylon Allen injury. We've talked about Mason Taylor as well, his emergence, sort of the number 2 pass catcher for this offense. And I think Miami, we've talked about it ad nauseum. So I think the biggest story out of Monday night just overall from the 2 games is just the Bengals look brutal, dude.
Yeah, they're done.
They can't do much right.
Again, it's on the road to Denver, which is tough. They've had a tough stretch of defenses here. That was one of the things we said when Burrow went down. It's ooh, boy, this upcoming stretch of defense is pretty bad. But yeah, man, they're home to Detroit next week, and it's not Detroit. It's not like
they're double-digit dogs in that game, and I don't think the game script might not even matter. They just might be too bad. You just can't. You still have to get first downs when you're playing from 20 behind, and they may not be able to do it. So all of these guys.
Chase Brown averaged 4 yards per carry, but he only got 10 carries because they couldn't sustain any runs. I think. Again, I don't know, man, the Jamar Chase.
This was a comment at first, and I was like, there's no way Jamar Chase is commenting on our stream.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. But proud Fantasy Life investor, Jamar Chase, tweeting, man, y'all better leave me alone, man. I get it.
Leave Jamar alone. It's not his fault.
It's not Jamar's fault at all. Jamar's always open. You just got to get him the ball. Guy had a 36% target share in week 4, but just they're not getting him the ball. Wide receiver 39, wide receiver 53. Those are his finishes over the last 2 weeks, right? Finished he wasn't a top 50 wide receiver this week, and I get the Pat Surtain stuff, but still. I believe in his talent. I'm not sure I believe in Jake Browning's or this offense. He's probably more of a, from a guy that was drafted number 1 overall and the number 1 wide receiver, I think he's now like a top 15-ish wide receiver at the moment. And that's just banking on talent and volume.
And banking on them getting a new quarterback.
That's
for
the
next
key.
3 weeks.
They have to make a move. They have to make a move.
Higgins, I'm ranking probably in the 30 to 35 range, and Chase Brown is like in the 20 to 25 range. He's more of a high-end flex, but just Jake Browning and that offensive line have just killed this entire offense. It looks bad, and hopefully better at home against the Lions this week, but that's better than being on the road at Denver. But it's not.
Lions are on a war path right now.
I know, man. And then they're at Green Bay, and then they're home to Pittsburgh. Oifa.
Sunday night, it's an AFC East showdown when Josh Allen and the Bills defend their home against Drake May and the Patriots in primetime. Coverage of the battle begins at 7 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.